Good morning, dear children. A warm welcome to all of you for our today's digital session after your third online assessment exam. Our today's subject is Science and Technology, Section B. Today, we are going to start with a new chapter, chapter number 9, Environmental Management. Topics to be covered for today are weather and climate, meteorology, and solid waste management. So, let us begin with our first topic, that is weather and climate. Before moving ahead to our main topic, weather and climate, we are just going to understand the meaning of this chapter, environmental management. What do you mean by the name of this chapter? Environment. Environment means all the things around you, whether they are the biotic factors, that is, all the living things, or the abiotic factors, that is, non living things, which include everything from the minute unicellular organisms up to the top level organisms, that is, human beings. Or when you speak about the abiotic factors, it is related to air, soil, water, etc. So, management of all these things in the environment in an appropriate manner is called environmental management. So, our first topic is when we speak about the environment, mainly we speak about the conditions around us in terms of two words, that is weather and climate. Looking at the word, you understand the meaning of weather. What do you mean by weather? Atmospheric conditions at a specific time at a particular place are referred to as weather. Every day on our mobile phones or news, through the news, you come to know about the prevailing conditions of weather. Whether today the day will be very hot, or in the rainy season whether there will be any rain showers. So atmospheric conditions, whether the conditions for today or at that particular time, whether it will be hot, whether it will be cold, whether there will be any rains, so all these atmospheric conditions are referred to as weather. And it depends on what? Weather depends upon the prevailing conditions of the air. The climate of a particular region. Now look at the other word. One word we have seen, that is weather, and the other word is climate. What is the difference between these two words? The climate of a particular region is the average of daily readings of weather related parameters recorded for several years. Depending upon the, see, when you have to calculate the result, the total result, the annual result which you get, that result is calculated on the average of your marks earned throughout the year. That is, in short, climate. And what is weather? Your per exam marks which are obtained, that you can relate as weather. So immediately you can understand the difference. Climate means depending upon your average parameters, weather related parameters for a particular region, south, north, east, recorded for many years, that average is called as climate. So climate is a long-term predominant condition of the atmosphere. It is not short-term like weather, it is a long-term predominant condition. Hence we say, when we speak about Jammu and Kashmir, we say that it has a cold climate. When we speak about Tundra regions, we say it has a cold climate. When we speak about desert regions, we say the climate is hot. So depending upon the results which are recorded, weather related results recorded for many years, the climate of a particular region is decided. So this is the major difference between weather and climate. Changes in weather. Now climate you will not see changing continuously. Climate is that which remains constant in a region for a longer duration of time. Thus weather is related to a specific location and specific time, whereas climate is related to a longer duration and larger area is covered under it. Now here we are seeing the major difference between weather and climate. Changes in weather may occur for short periods of time. In the morning it might be sunny. In the afternoon you might see that the weather has become slight cold, and in the evening you can even find rain showers or heavy rains. So this is nothing but you can see that weather is continuously changing. So it may occur for short periods of time, whereas changes in climate take place slowly and over a very long duration of time. Thus climate plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. When you have to speak about major things, what crops are to be grown in that particular area, what type of clothing you have to wear, which type of food will be preferred by the people in that area at that time, your weather does not, but climate plays a very important role. Thus climate influences our basic needs like food, clothing and shelter. Just now I have told you, depending upon the climate. When we speak about climate of Tundra region, you have to change your clothing. You have to wear warm clothes like sweaters, or your food, you have to take warm, hot foods. Shelter, where the Eskimos and all live. So that climate at a particular region, it influences your basic needs, not only basic needs but also occupations. In the desert regions, occupation of the people may be different. Camels and all are found in the desert. So camel riding and all for the tourist might be the occupation of that people. In the cold regions, in the humid regions, the occupation will vary. Climate is especially important for an agrarian country like India. India is a agriculture related country where the main occupation is agriculture. Various climatic factors like direction and speed of the wind, temperature, atmospheric pressure, now here little bit we are shifting towards geography, etc., are considered during construction of runways, seaports, huge bridges and skyscrapers. So depending upon the climatic factors, all this construction work is undertaken. While ascertaining the climate of a particular region, a review of earlier studies of various aspects of climate is very important. You take an example of a country like Japan. It is more prone to earthquakes. So while preparing the houses in that particular area, which type of houses are preferred. Very good example it is. So this way you can see that climate, how important role it is playing in your day-to-day life. Most countries in the world have established meteorology departments for making and recording such observations. See, climate is not the reading which is based only on a single observation. You have to record the observations for n number of years, and then only you can decide the climate of that particular region, particular country, particular area. And these departments, they have observatories which are equipped with modern instruments and technology which deal with recording of weather. If present climatic conditions are analyzed with reference to the past climatic conditions, easily you can predict the changes of the future. See, sometimes you get alerts from the meteorology department, especially before rainy season, that on so and so date, likely there will be some rain showers in this part of Mumbai or this part of Chennai, this part of Kerala. So how this changes are predicted, how this weather is predicted by the meteorology department, it is predicted on the basis of the results which are calculated in the past years. So along with that result, your present climatic conditions are taken into account, and then appropriately or approximately they provide you with the dates that no, there will be snowfall in so and so areas of Leh, Ladakh or in the Himalayan regions. So all these are based on the recordings of your previous years and the present climatic conditions. However, as climate is the net result of a complex mixture of various atmospheric factors, forecasting it is very complicated and difficult. See, your annual result, it is based on your net result of all your exams. So, what will be your annual result? Prediction is very difficult. Forecasting is easy for places where climatic changes are slow and of limited nature. However, where climatic changes are complex, interdependent and rapid, making the forecast by the meteorology department is very difficult. So, towards the end of this topic, I hope that all of you have well understood the basic difference between weather and climate. Whatever updates you get through your news, see in the news they are showing some cloud like structure especially, and then they will show you that today in so and so part it will be so and so temperature in Nagpur, so and so temperature in Maharashtra. This all recordings is done by the forecasting department. It is given by the meteorology department. So you have heard about the word meteorology. Now what is the meaning of this word? We are going to see ahead. The science that studies the interrelationships between the various components of air, natural cycles, geological movements of the earth and climate is called meteorology. See, the biology, chemistry, physics, how these are the different branches of science. Similarly, this also is a branch of science which studies the interrelationships. It is the main branch of science which deals with the atmospheric conditions, whether it is related to the various components of air, all your natural cycles, you know, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle, movements which are going in the inside the earth's crust, that is the geological movements of the earth, and the climate, that is called as meteorology. It includes the study of storms, clouds, rainfall, thunder, lightning, etc., all the factors related to geography. So many a times you must have heard the alerts from the department that so and so storm or so and so the year likely that there will be more amount of winds. This storm is approaching near us. So all this details are given from the meteorology department. This study, this science enables us to predict the climate, to predict the weather. Depending upon the study of such factors, weather forecasting are made. Just now I have told you. I have given you an example. They are useful to common people, especially in the rainy season when you get the alerts on the phone that today there will be heavy rains. So the fishermen and all, they are not allowed to go near the sea for fishing and all. So this forecasting is very useful for common people. Even we as common people, we can decide that tomorrow, yes, surely 24 hours, sometimes they give the warning, people are not allowed to move out of the houses unless and until the work is very urgent or emergency cases. So you can decide, so suppose tomorrow we don't have a school, then whether really we have any urgent work or there will be heavy rain, so we can stay at home. So the forecasting are useful to common people. Farmers, if they know there will be heavy rain, so crops and all, they can do all the things necessary with the cropping related to farming. Fisheries, as I have told you just now, the fishermen can decide whether they have to go near the seas or stay away from it. Aviation services related to air, aeroplanes and all, you know, they are very much related to this weather conditions. So they can see whether their services, their flights should be delayed or they have to be preponed. Water transport, if there is any type of storms and all which are likely to take place inside the oceans, then whether to that water transport in that particular area can be stopped or delayed. And various other organizations, means all the organizations directly or indirectly, they are dependent on the weather forecasting, the forecast which you obtain daily. Now, which is the department which provides us with all this information? Let us see ahead. The India Meteorological Department or the IMD, when it is related to India, it provides us with it helps us in predicting the upcoming weather forecasting. So the India Meteorological Department, it was founded by the British in the year 1875, at which place? At Shimla. Its head office is at Pune and regional offices are at Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Nagpur and Delhi. Now, what is actually the work of this department? Here, maps are prepared every day which indicate the daily predictions about the weather. Every day, what is the prevailing, what is the persisting weather? Maps are prepared taking into account the information. Such maps are prepared and published twice in every 24 hours. So, every day, twice you get the update about your weather. In this department, research goes on continuously on various aspects like instruments for climatic readings, new instruments, new and new technology they add for reading or recording the changes in climate, predictions about climate made using radar system, predictions about climate related to seismology, predictions regarding rainfall by satellites, air pollution, etc. So here IMD for this department, it is not very easy to give you updates about the weather. Continuously the research is going on. Whatever results are recorded, whatever readings are recorded about the weather, they are analyzed with the recordings of many past years and then they give you the predictions about the upcoming weather. So when this is possible, when continuously the research is going on in this department. The India Meteorological Department, what is the main work? Its main work is provides important information regarding weather and climatic conditions to other departments. The main aim of the IMD is to save the other departments from any type of loss due to any type of calamities. So which departments they are providing information? Aviation, shipping, agriculture, irrigation, marine, oil exploration, production, etc. So they are preparing the information related to weather, related to climate and then they are supplying it to other departments. So accordingly that departments can undertake their work. They can decide their mode of work. Predictions regarding calamities like dust storms, sandstorms, heavy rainfall, hot and cold waves, where these waves arise in the sea, tsunami, all of you are very, you can say, known with this word tsunami, you know what is tsunami, etc., are communicated to various departments, all types of mass communication media, and to all the citizens. See, predictions regarding calamities predicted that so and so in so and so part heavy rainfall is expected or in so and so part of the sea a tsunami can arise. So people, this all information, this all predictions are communicated to the various departments, all the types of mass communication media like television, WhatsApp, Facebook, and then through this different media all the citizens they come to know about the predictions and then accordingly you can pick up the necessary steps and can save yourselves and people around you. For this purpose, India has launched several satellites equipped with high-class technology. Everywhere you know, India is on the forefront. Observatories at several locations are doing excellent work in the analysis of information which is received from these satellites. For your more information, one website is given here, www.imdpune.gov.in. On this website, you can get the necessary information which is being passed to us by the India Meteorological Department. Next topic is monsoon model and climate prediction. Now, what do you mean by this word monsoon model and climate prediction? Now this tradition of forecasting the monsoon season in India is older than 100 years. Tradition of forecasting the monsoon season. Just now, 5 minutes before, I had told you, approximately towards the month of May, or towards the end of May, we come to know about a slight idea of when the rainfall is being expected in Maharashtra or any other part of the India, any other part of the country. After the famine of 1877, H.F. Blandford, the founder of IMD, had made such a prediction for the first time, taking the snowfall in the Himalayas as a parameter for this prediction. The first prediction for monsoon was done by H.F. Blandford. He was the founder of India Meteorological Department, and for this prediction he has taken the snowfall in the Himalayas as a parameter. In the decade of 1930s, the director of IMD, Sir Gilbert Walker, had underlined the relationship between various worldwide climatic factors and the Indian monsoon. See, here he has not only taken into account Himalayas or only part of the India, he has underlined the relationship between various worldwide climatic factors and the Indian monsoon, and then based on the available recordings, observations and previous recordings related to this relationship, he put forth a hypothesis regarding the nature of the monsoon in India. With the initiative of Dr. Vasantrao Gowarikar, this name is very important in Indian history, especially when it comes to meteorology. In the decades of 1990s, a monsoon model based upon 16 worldwide climatic parameters was developed. Again, you can see here an Indian person, Dr. Vasantrao Gowarikar. This model was in use from the year 1990 to 2002. Presently now, new models are being developed at the IITM, and work is continuously in progress at two main levels. One is designing new models and developing new technology. And when it comes to new technology, we always know India plays a very excellent role. And main focus here is on development of the radar system and satellite technology. Means whatever information you get from the artificial satellites which are sent in the space to get the necessary information. You know weather satellite is there which plays an important role in forecasting the and predictions about the weather. Now different models in short we are going to see. Just remember this thing, nothing you have to learn or something. First model is mathematical model. Forecasts are made with the help of mathematical models which take into account estimates of current weather related events and then ongoing physical interactions between them. Data about whatever is the present climatic parameters, is mathematically analyzed by plotting the graphs with the help of the Param supercomputer. Various mathematical models based upon daily geographic events are developed by supercomputer technology. This is the first model, that is mathematical model, where is mostly the use of graphs is done. Second is holistic model. In this model, predictions are based upon those parameters used in other models. Here, predictions are based upon those parameters which are used in mathematical models or other models which have the greatest effect on the monsoon season. Nowadays, predictions declared by IMD are the collective outcome of various models, and this is together called a holistic model. On the readings of various models, that totally is called as holistic model. Next is statistical model, again based on graphs, statistics. In this model, current climatic observations in a region are compared with earlier parameters. Whatever is the current climate, that observations they are taken and compared with the earlier parameters, means in earlier age, at that particular period of time, what were the climatic conditions. They are compared with the present climatic observations. Which are the different parameters? Oceanic temperature of the seas, atmospheric pressure, and the nature of the monsoon rainfall of several years. This data is comparatively analyzed by statistical methods. You all know different methods of statistics, and predictions are made about the monsoon in the present conditions. So these are the three different models which make use of each other's recordings, which make use of each other's readings, and then accordingly you can predict the upcoming weather, or you can give the updates, or you can give the weather forecasting of any region. So here today we have completed the first topic of this chapter, that is weather and climate. In this chapter, that is environmental management, we are going to cover the topics related to environment which are in different, you can say, parameters. Our first topic was weather and climate and meteorology. In our second topic, you will study about solid waste management, then how it is related to the environment, and in our last topic we are going to study about disaster management. Means in the first case you are going to study about weather and climate. Once you come to know about weather and climate, how different disasters are expected and how you are going to manage or control them, and solid waste management, you know, it is the need of the hour. So how this solid waste management is need of the hour? What is the need of this solid waste management? We are going to study in our next online session. So till then, all of you are expected to keep on reading the textbook. Whatever matter is taught to you, then and there, every day read the textbook and start preparing answers in your own way. Read each and every concept, underline the important things related to that particular topic. Thank you.